Hey YouTube, how you guys doing? My name is Kyle, you know me as Dragonmar, and welcome to a new video. Today we've got a Diamond 1 Killjoy VOD review submitted by Jeremiah. Thank you so much, Jeremiah, for that. This one is going to be good. On top of that, I also want to say a huge thank you to everybody who helped me hit partner on Twitch. I became a Twitch partner on November 3rd. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate your support, and I will be live today. When this video goes live, we're going to watch the First Strike tournament, as well as doing some VOD reviews. It is the playoffs, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Great teams, obviously, go 100 Thieves, duh. Also, go TSM. They play each other. Not sure who to root for. But nonetheless, I will see you guys on stream, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap that bell. Without any further ado, let's jump into the gameplay. Alright, so starting the VOD review off, looks like we're not going to have the pistol round recorded. But Jeremiah did lose the pistol. So obviously with a sentinel like Killjoy, we want to take a look sort of at where the turret is being placed, where he's putting the alarm bot, and things of that nature. Now, also, one thing I want to note about the team comp is they're running double sentinel, right? This is a Cypher Killjoy comp. And I'm very worried about how this attack is going to go. Approaching mid here, Jeremiah gets the headshot, but it looks like the Jet bought armor there, as we are on the second round. And they will take it. Alright, so third round is starting here, and we do have the Vandal. Now, turret goes down, watching the B main push. We also have a tripwire there, though, so maybe a little bit overkill. Teammates are all dying in mid. Someone was pushing main here. It is the Jet. And the Jet does get the headshot. It looks like maybe a little bit too much movement there from Jeremiah before the Jet came around the corner, and unfortunately unable to finish the kill. All right, looks like he's going to go for the same turret again here on round 4. Now, smokes mid are definitely necessary, but you don't want to peek under the smoke. I think the Omen just caught a glimpse of him right under that smoke there, and was able to fire through and get the kill. Remember, guys, just wait that extra half second for all the smokes to land. You don't want to get pre-fired like that. You don't want to get shot through smoke. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. Just wait a second, and everything will be okay. All right, round 5, desperately in need of something. Okay, once again peeking under the smoke, but gonna fire back this time. I think you have enough guys there. Probably that if you all peeked at the same time, you're fine. But the flank from B main again, it's the Jet. You're gonna have to take this fight. She walks out. And unfortunately, she gets such a wide angle on you that you are unable to get the kill. You guys need a solution here for this B main push. She's done it like 3 rounds in a row. At that point, you should be destroying her. I mean, you should have 2 guys there waiting for her and just take her out every time she comes around that corner. Very, very important to stop these pushes, or just get away. Go to the other side of the map. Go to A if you have to. Let her push through B and then make the play. All right, round 6. Oh, Jet once again in main. Oh, somehow gets a kill. Damn, I really don't know how she ended up getting that kill there, but nonetheless, you are going to try to push through the smoke here. Looks like the Phoenix goes down from the Reyna. You flash out, and you make your way over here to site. Now, your turret did go off, so you know somebody is behind you. I would have loved to have seen you get that plant there, just because that plant gives you your ultimate, and also generally, you know, you do want your sentinels having the bomb. Right now, you would be able to use it and hopefully be able to defend, get your first round of the attacker's half here. But now your Reyna goes down, so 2v2 playing back boat. And a nice job there, you know, just kind of staying hidden back there, right? That's exactly what you want to do. You don't want to make a lot of noise. The boat sort of position on the map is just so good because, like, people don't know you're back there unless you show yourself. So they always have to be worried, you know, which side are you going to peek from, the left or the right? Are you hiding in one of the corners? You know, is there a player on site? So it's a great spot to play, and you played that really well there. All right, so finally, it looks like we are positioning towards A here. As you know, Jet has been pushing B main every round. It looks like you're just going to ult in, which is a pretty classic Killjoy play. Now, the one thing you have to be worried about is, of course, the Heaven player. Someone's up there on Heaven, or even in Hell as well. Oh, no. Right here, it looks like you maybe didn't expect the Cypher to be behind that wall. Or, excuse me, behind Generator there. And so when you took that shot, you were still moving, as we saw the bullets were nowhere close to hitting him. Just got to make sure we're still being careful and still clearing these sites out, even when our ultimate is down. Remember, a lot of people will stay and try to take those fights, catch you off guard. All right, round 8, currently down 1-6. And remember, we are on attack here on Ascent, not the easiest. Oh my god, taking the fight with the Omen. Now, something looked a little off there about your aim. I actually just want to quickly rewind this. I want to just look at this aim again. It looked very, like, almost jittery. I don't know. It just felt like you almost spazzed out there with your aim. I'm not sure if that is a sensitivity thing or just maybe how you aim in general, but it seems like your reaction to seeing the omen was almost a panic instead of a cool, calm, and collected shot there. Just something to consider. Nice job there with the timing. Great timing on the Jet, catching her as she's turning and then following it up with the headshot onto the Reyna. Nice shots there. Probably your best round so far from what we've seen. I like that a lot. Now you're watching B main still, even though you have the trip there. Just got to remember you got the trip. So B is open. So right now you guys should be running into B. Ideally, the Omen would have smoked mid here, and you guys could just go through mid into B. But it's fine if you want to take a more safe route, I guess. He smokes CT. Omen is spotted. You probably don't want to peek this. Okay, you're going to peek it. What I was saying is you probably don't want to peek that because the Omen is most likely going to expect someone to be mid. He had his, not his gun out. I think he has a knife out right there. And you get the kill. Nicely done. All right, round 10 starting here. Phoenix spotted. Looks like you are going to get blinded. But everybody's still alive now. So, here comes the push. Reyna was still grabbing orb. Alright, nice. You guys are able to kill the Reyna that comes out of market. A nice little catch there onto the Phoenix and a spray down onto the Jet. A little wobbly on the spray there, but you do get the kills. Good timing to catch the guy jumping. Easy kill on him, and then you followed up on the Jet. Nice shots, and you guys are up 5-1 here. You'll secure this round, and hopefully maybe get the last 3 here. Give you guys a pretty decent attack side on Ascent. All right, so round 11 starting 3-7 is the scoreline. If you could pick up 5 rounds on Ascent, you're doing pretty good. Let's see what the plan is here. Looks like your duelists are going to run straight out. The trade is in, though, but unfortunately, Omen runs through the smoke with nobody else there to trade. So that was a little bit pointless. Now you guys are going to have to look for an alternative route towards winning this round. Looks like you guys are going to stick over here towards B right now. So this is a little bit of a, you know, a mind game, if you will. The problem is because you guys have no map control, it's very likely and very possible the enemy is already pushed up on A. If they are pushed up on A, they know you guys are stuck over here, and they're not going to get faked out by this. They're not going to over-rotate. Now, this is a 3v4, so you're already down. You do have a Phoenix ult, and you have your Killjoy ult here. Perhaps you could try to lead into sight with those ults if you want to invest heavily into this round. I think that there would have been some value there. Unfortunately, though, a push from main, 2 players in mid, and you go down to the Phoenix. So just what I think happened, you guys took a little too long. You were clearing mid, your teammates were over in main. You really got to play together when you're down players like that. I think you guys should have just re-aggressed over towards B and try to take it together. All right, final round of the first half here. Jeremiah is top fragging on the Sentinel, so probably not a good indication that maybe the duelists are not having the best game. But you guys do get the opening kill, but you do go down to the Omen and the Reyna both go down with the Omen trade out. It's 3-3. Now you have your ult. You probably want to use your ult here to secure this round the best you can. Let's see. It looks like you'll have an opportunity to actually save it. So this is nice. This gives you a little bit of time here. You can sort of relax, hang on to your ult, and use it late into the round because you don't have to use it early. Now, you are going to use it early. Like I was saying, this is one of those situations where you really can hold on to it a bit longer. All you do is you draw attention to yourself, and just like that, the Phoenix is pushing you. Thankfully, you do get the kill onto the Phoenix, but personally, I would have held the ult a bit longer. That way, they are forced to come into the site. You can decide, hey, do I want to ult now? Do I wait till someone taps the bomb? How do I want to play this? I just think when you ult that early into the round, you kind of force them into an all-out rush onto the site after the ult goes off. I personally would have held that maybe another 5-10 seconds. Just stayed quiet, then ult, then force them to you. And with less time, generally people will make more mistakes, and that means the round is going to be a little easier. But good job winning that round. You guys end the half 4-8. All right, so some final notes before we start the second half here. I just want to say that a lot of the problems in that first half was just essentially getting pushed. Getting shot through smoke, things of that nature. The B main push from the Jet was devastating, like 3-4 rounds in a row. And then on top of that, you had a couple deaths through smokes. I think we just have to, you know, I say play more passive, but really, I think just play a little bit smarter with your positioning there. Now, you do get the opening kill here onto the Reyna. You're sort of playing behind your turret, which I definitely find pretty clever. Now, the problem is your team is all going down on the other site, and unfortunately, I do not see the redemption here. 1v3, you're on 40 health. Spot the jet, you go for some taps, and unfortunately, with 2 body shots, you are eliminated. So I think realistically you guys do have the advantage just having 2 sentinels here, being able to put 1 sentinel on each site, but it looks like your Cypher is playing mid, which I guess is okay. You could put a player cat 2 on A. I'm not really sure why the Cypher would be mid though. I think realistically you could just throw a trip down in mid and then have your Cypher go somewhere else. But let's see what you can do here. You've got the Stinger out. As you guys know, I am, how do we say this? Not a fan of the Stinger. I find that I just shoot BBs at people at any kind of range, unless I'm in their face. But maybe you'll have a different set of circumstances here. Currently 2v2. Looks like the Cypher is running towards A. I do not know why he's not taking... I do not know why he did not take that dart out of him. Very interesting play. A very interesting play, but you'll take the round, and that's what matters. So nice job there getting the kills, using the Stinger to your advantage, and essentially just getting a nice little bit of timing there on the Cypher. As he's running, you can shoot him under the door. All right, so currently 5-9. Now you got the Vandal here, so you're looking at a gun round. You got your mollies available. Looks like your turret is up above you currently, so that would be on top of those barrels. That is a super annoying spot as someone who runs into that turret all the time. That placement is very good for Killjoys, but once again, teammates are going down over towards the A site. Now, your Reyna is able to even things out, 3v3 now, but I think they may already be on A. Let's see what happens here. You're gonna come into heaven, and you're smoked out. So one thing I always tell people, be careful with the Vandal spray through the smoke. Remember, you can be it's so easy to see these tracers get shot back through the smoke. Let's see what the play is. Looks like your Reyna. Oh, you're actually gonna come down with your Reyna. All right, Reyna gets the first kill. You get onto site. Nice kill there. Good game knowledge to know, hey, I know someone normally is going to be in main. Let me hold this as my Reyna goes in, get the nice kill onto the jet, and then once you eliminate the player in main, you know generally, right, where's the next spot? Hell, and there was a player there, and you get the 2K on the round, giving you guys 6-9 scoreline. Things are looking good. All right, so like I said, it is 6-9 here. You've got your ult as well. Right now, you're playing pretty passive. I don't see how you can retake right now, so I think you just let them take site at this point. You're just playing behind the Omen smoke. Now, you have to be careful here of the walkout. Omens love pushing this smoke, especially where your Reyna is. People will love pushing that angle here, and then you go for the little peek, but you don't expect someone to be at the bottom of the steps. That's one of those problems with that angle, is that because the steps are there, someone can kind of be anywhere, and it's one of those really tough spots. Whenever there's an elevation change, I always say this, one of the hardest spots to play, because you just don't know where to peek. And looks like your team will win the round though. Now, one thing I want to say here is if you're gonna play so passive, you know, it might be worth, you know, just kind of falling back a little more from that smoke. I just get worried sometimes when I see people playing so passive. Essentially, you gave up the site, you played for a retake, but you were still standing next to the smoke. I just don't want to see you get spammed and stuff. I would step back a little further, but nonetheless, you guys do win the round. All right, things are looking good. So we're on round 17. You guys are currently down 2 rounds, but like I've been saying, I mean, the retakes have been good. I think it's pretty much been a retake almost every round so far that you've won here on defense. Now, you're still holding on to your ult as well. So, oh no, I have to watch that one back. Yeah, right there, essentially what happens is you saw him a little late, then you reacted, but as you're reacting, he also was moving. He essentially just strafed directly out of your shot, and that's one of the most frustrating parts about this game, and that's why it's so important to always be ready to shoot. That way you don't have to react late. You can always react at the exact moment you see the player, and that's one of those times where, because you reacted late, it allowed that player to move again, and once he moved again, he was well out of your crosshair, and he's able to take you out. Now, the good news is your team was able to win that round. So only down 1 right now. Now, you have been playing the same spot, I feel like, pretty much every round. I would maybe want to rethink your positioning. And I like this. I love this ledge play here. Being able to fall off, being able to kind of hide yourself. Very, very good. Oh, I would not take this fight. Okay. You take that fight, and then you re-peek with the molly as well, which is just so dangerous. Remember, you had 30 health when you re-peeked. I don't think that was the smart play. I would stop re-peeking right now with 30 health. You're playing a little too aggressive here. I want to see a little more passive. Remember, you have your ult. Just use your ult to retake with your team here. You don't have to fight for this site. It's not that important. Your Reyna, though, thankfully, charges in head first and does take down the Phoenix. But your Cypher will fall. Looks like the Omen was able to push up into a heaven, actually. And thankfully, your Omen takes him out. So you have 30 health here. Once again, I've said this a lot. You still have your ult. We haven't seen you use it yet. So maybe... yeah, it looks like you are going to use it on this round. Now, it is a 4v2. But, you know, you want to secure the round, which I don't have any problems with. But I do think that just based on your positioning, where your team is, where the enemy is, maybe want to hold on to your ult there. And at 4v2 with all players on site, you probably were better off holding it. But hey, at least you used it. I guess that is something. All right, so game is all tied up after what looked like a pretty rough start there on the attacker's side. Now, remember, 2 sentinels, definitely good for defense. So let's see what the play is here. It looks like a little more aggression finally. Got to be careful with how you're peeking this angle, though. Remember, we don't want to put our crosshair too far into the wall, just dependent on where the enemy can be. If they're close to that wall and you're staring at a wall with your crosshair, they peek you, it makes the shot so much harder. Now, you are going to come here towards the edge of B main. Looks like the Cypher trip is going to hold you. So this is one of those things where, do you want to play off of this trip? Do you want to break it and push out? You know, there's a lot of options here. And looks like you want to play around this trip. So this is kind of one of those sneaky little plays. You do get the kill on the jet. You break the trip, and unfortunately the other 2 players are there and ready. So that's one of those situations where I think you just take that 1 kill and fall off. Because the trip was still there, you had to break it, which kind of messes up your ability to pre-fire that corner. So I think on that situation, you really just want to get that kill. Hey, we take those and then break the trip and run away. I think you got a little bit too aggressive there, but hey, thankfully your team able to win the round. All right, so currently up for the first time, I think all game, you and your team have the lead here. Now, wow, you guys are losing the first player very often. I think your team is a little too aggressive here, but let's see what your play is, what your plan is over here in market. Now, I love this angle. Great kill onto the jet. I doubt she was expecting that. Good little play there through the smoke. Nice follow-up onto the Reyna as well. Guys, whenever you get an opportunity to play around a smoke, and the enemy doesn't know you're there, you are at such a huge advantage until you shoot your gun. When you shoot your gun, you give away your position. Now remember, I don't think Jeremiah as the Killjoy had ever played in market, so Jet probably wasn't expecting him to be there, maybe the Cypher if anyone. But once you get tagged, I think that was with a tripwire, or it could have been with the dart as well, or the cam. Yeah, I mean, that is just GG through the smoke. One of the most frustrating things, but a nice round here for Jeremiah. Good job, I think, just playing passive. You know, he could have peeked that angle. He could have sprayed that smoke, but instead he just held off and waited. And now he's almost on match point. All right, so we're currently playing. Once again, looks like this is the bomb site that Jeremiah likes to play. I don't blame him. This site is great for Killjoy, especially with that turret spot. Now, the problem. Your team has once again died first and completely lost control of A. I honestly... wow, that was a nice shot, by the way. I don't know what is happening over on that bomb site currently. I mean, you guys have 2 sentinels, and they are walking into A like almost every round. I mean, you know, generally, I say things like, hey, if your team is struggling to switch positions, I'm not sure if that's going to help them here. Nonetheless, though, you do get the kill on the Reyna. Currently a 1v2. Spraying the smoke. Gonna ult. Now, remember, you just ulted, so they're still on site. Remember, you have to remember, they're still on site. You do get the kill on the Cypher. Looks like this last player is probably main or over here towards tree. And the problem with that is because there are those sight lines that are not impacted by the ult, it allows players like that Jet there to just hang out and wait, and they'll just wait for your tap. And that was a really nice try. I liked the sort of aggressive usage of the ult there, but unfortunately, you know, that would have been so much better if they were both on site. That way you take the fights and you hopefully win them. But with a player being over there in tree, it kind of ruins everything. All right, so it's currently 11-10. Things are getting a little tight now. It looks like you guys are maybe going to pull away there and just finish them off 13-9. But now back here again onto another gun round. I think the other team probably has a full buy as well off of that win. Not entirely sure because only one did survive. Now, finally, you guys get the first blood without losing a player, which is huge, by the way. That has not been happening very much so far. And you're also going to play on steps here. Turret going off, so you know a player is in main. Let's see what your plan is. Okay, playing slow, playing passive. Going for the peek. I'm not a big fan of how you peek that angle, by the way. Definitely risky because you peek directly for the main push. But what if somebody was over there at the logs, right, in that little cubby? You just have to remember that. Oh, and that is not what you want to do. You took the fight with the Jet, you missed, gave away your position, and then re-peeked, almost assuming the Jet was going to be right there on the other side of that wood shop, but you completely forgot that there was a whole nother player alive just chilling. You had no idea where he was, by the way, or you knew he was around main, and he was just sitting there waiting for you. So that was a bad re-peek. That was a re-peek you definitely want to avoid in the future. If you're going to take that fight again, you have to clear out main first with your peek, and then go for that close angle looking for the Jet again. You can't just skip that first step because, like we saw, you skip the first step, well, he's just going to shoot you. All right, the good news is you guys did win that round there. Nice little 3v2 retake from your team. So currently on match point. Now, Phoenix starts things off well with the kill onto the Reyna. And oh, but looks like, oh man, it looks like your Omen just got a little too aggressive there. You guys really should have just taken that kill and been like, hey, thank you very much. Let's see what's going on though. Phoenix goes down currently in a 3v2, now a 2v2. Enemy Phoenix on site somewhere. Good flash. Oh man. Yep. I'm gonna have to get on you about that one there, Jeremiah. You've got to turn from that flash. By not turning, you're essentially just giving up and letting yourself be flashed. You have to try to turn even if you're not going to make it. Like in that situation, if you turn, maybe get half flash, maybe you're able to see him and take that fight, win that round, but you kind of just stared at it. So really, really important, guys, whenever you're fighting a Phoenix, you have to be ready to turn from these flashes. And especially if you're out in the open. Remember, you walked out into the open there. You could have just jumped on the site, tried to fight him on gen, anything like that. But because you're walking in the open, you have to be ready to turn from flashes. Now, final round of regulation. Will we be able to put this game away? Let's find out. So, once again, over here on B, we've got a turret up top on the barrels with some utility in main. Looks like your Cypher also going to trip for you. Or I guess it's a trap wire. By the way, you guys know it's a trap wire, not a trip wire. Anyways, so 3v2, you guys have an advantage. Play together here. You should win this round. You got a ton of utility here, okay? At this point, I would just go play with your team. You're anchoring this site, but you have the trap wire. You've got a turret. I think you even have your alarm bot in main as well. Maybe just toss some mollies here and go play with your team. Really, really important to keep this kind of stuff in mind because what ends up happening is a situation like this where you have a 3v2. Your site is so heavily guarded with all of the sentinel utility that the other team is obviously going to go A. And then you leave your player on A alone. He goes down because it's a 2v1. And now you've got to retake. It's just one of those things where you have to play the numbers advantage, I think. You'd also just mollied your teammate off. Let's see what the play is. So Cypher on site and Jet on site as well, and they take you out. So, oh man, that was just not a good round for you there. And unfortunately, I think this is going to overtime. Like I was saying, I think you just rotate off B, then play with your team. Let your utility do your work. Let your utility let you know if they're coming in and be there to help your teammate on the A bomb site. All right, so overtime starting off here with a push over towards A. Looks like Reyna gonna flash through. Gotta be careful with those trips. A huge blind from the enemy Omen though. You try to close the door, but unfortunately it's gonna be too little too late. And the enemy team is going to be able to clean you guys up. I think right there, honestly, what lost you that round is that your duelists were a little slow to get through. Why? Because they were worried about the trap wires. And on top of that, you also just got absolutely obliterated by an Omen paranoia. That was a huge paranoia. That probably got like all of you. And kind of completely shut down that push. The A main rush, guys, if you're still listening to this video, the A main rush is one of the most difficult ones in the game. If you are going to rush, I highly recommend you having a jet on your team and having the jet smoke gen and dash into gen to break any trips in the way. It is just incredibly difficult to take a main if you take it with slow regular movement abilities and not with something like a jet dash or a raised blast back. But nonetheless, we are here. What are we on, round like 26 or something, looking to even things up and maybe go into a second overtime. Now the problem here is that you do have information that a player is in B main. Now you have a trip down, so you're not going to be able to see too much from this angle. I maybe wouldn't position myself here, but then again, I'm not really sure. You honestly could probably play more on site if you wanted. So I would come out of this doorway, maybe play a little more to the right. That way you get some value out of that trip. Oh, instead, you're going to molly. Turret spotted someone again. It does seem like there are players over here. Let's see what their play is, though. So, just going to kind of sit here on steps. Now, mid is kind of open, but your Cypher is watching the market push. Remember, you got to look at those sight lines. See how he's watching that push for you? So, hopefully, that means you don't have to worry about market. But, nonetheless, you guys are going to rotate over here towards a player in mid. Goes down. Nice job there by your Cypher. So, you're currently in a 3v2. Like I said, this is all about trades. This is all about trades. Player spotted over by the door. One player in main, and unfortunately you're going to go for the spray there, and it is just not going to result in the kill, and that is going to be the end of this game. A 12-14 defeat, so not like it was a shutout or anything, but let me go over some of my final thoughts here. All right, so kind of to wrap this up, I think what we noticed mainly on attack was the inability to hold flanks. And that is a big problem, especially if you're playing a Sentinel. So my biggest piece of advice here for Jeremiah is if you are going to play a Sentinel, you have to be able to hold these flanks a little bit better. Maybe you can position yourself differently to hold them. You could play off of your turret more. Remember, they were breaking your turret. So if they're shooting your turret, you can shoot them. So playing in a slightly more passive position, wait for them to start breaking your turret and then go for the peak after that, I think would have been such a smart play there on attack. Now, on defense, obviously things got a lot better. Remember, you did have 2 Sentinels. One thing I'd like to see, though, is a little more, how do we say this? A little more aggression off of your utility. I think that if you could play off your turret a bit more, just like with attack on defense, and play off of your alarm bot some more, you might be able to find yourself some more kills on these opening pushes. A few times we just saw you kind of give up sight, which is fine. You're playing for retakes. I get it. But I still think that there's a bit of aggression left on the table that could have seriously benefited you in some of these rounds. Now, I also want to say that it seems like a lot of the problems on defense were coming from the A bomb site. So Killjoy can definitely play that other bomb site as well. Just have your Cypher hold B, right? And I think that that was probably the biggest thing I would take away from this is you watched your team get run over on that site round after round after round. And now as a Sentinel, it's kind of like your duty almost to be like, hey, you know, you need some help over there. Let me throw my turret, you know, let me throw my turret down. Let me come over there, whatever it is. Obviously you can't play away from your turret now with a new update, but nonetheless, I think overall, pretty decent gameplay. Definitely see why you're Diamond 1. I think that a little more teamwork would have gone a long way on attack, helping those flanks. Obviously, your aim can be improved upon a little bit. Looked like you had the tendency to start spraying a little bit too early. Maybe weren't as precise as you could have been with some of your shots. Then again, some rounds you looked like Scream. So who am I to say? But overall, definitely a really good game. Definitely work off of the aggression, off of your utility, though. I think that's going to be a big one for you on Killjoy. And with that being said, guys, if you did enjoy the video, hey, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and tap that bell. Love to see you guys back here in the future. Jeremiah, thank you so much for submitting this VOD, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you on stream. Take it easy, and peace.